Bang! Neeves Knives. I'm Jared, and we got a new off-grid knife. I have not opened it up yet. This is the QSP Penguin, but this is an exclusive with a titanium frame lock jigged pattern in M390 steel. Now, this is an exclusive from traditional pocket knives. Now, if I remember, I will link them down in the description. Traditional pocket knives, it's an exclusive. That's the only place you can get them. So check them out. I believe these dropped on the 18th, so you should be able to get some right now if they're still available. They come in two different options. You got this one and then the raw version, which is right here, actually. So very, very cool. Now let's get to this off-grid knife. So this one just looked so cool to me. It was something different, and I had to try it out. So I picked it up. I think I got it from their website, but I can link their Amazon store down in the description, along with, hopefully this knife. But definitely something different. Very broad, very crazy looking. That is so different. So this is considered somewhat of a tactical knife in a way. Not tactical in the sense that you're going outdoors. Because when I think of tactical, I think of something that's all terrain. Something that'll work good in urban environments and something that'll work good in the outdoors. Something that you could start a fire and camp with and something you could, be defensive with. This is more of a self-defense / EDC knife. Wow. They actually did a good edge on this. Good job. Now, these are done by Bestech. Deep carry clip, G10 sculpted scales. Lots of texturing. A 3.5 finger knife, more of a 3-finger knife, but I can cram it and get 4 fingers if I cram it. But basically a 3-finger knife. So this is not a large knife, but because of the way this handle goes right here like this, it actually nestles in your palm pretty tight. So even with my 3 fingers, I have a good grip on this. Like, this feels like something that it would be very difficult to get out of my hand, even in the reverse grip. More in the forward grip, but still in the reverse grip too. Now, for EDC, you could always choke up a little bit. Good jimping. Blade shape, man, that thing would go through for utility cuts. You got this recurve right there, so when you get into a package or something, it's going to draw the material into this belly, so it's going to stay into a cut really good. Then you have this flat portion for slicing through cardboard or anything like that. Now, can I reverse flick it? Ooh, yeah, it's easy to... Yeah, very easy to reverse flick off of because of the coating. So the coated blade offers a good amount of traction. Okay, so I threw some KPL Heavy and some KPL Original. I'll link them down in the description. So I did the D10 ball with the KPL Heavy and the bearings with the regular. And man, it got so much smoother. Bet I could thumb flick it now. Oh yeah. So the reverse flick on this, like I was saying, is very easy to do because you have traction. You have this ledge right here, because it pokes out right there, so you can easily get your finger right there and just pow. The pinch grip in this is going to be amazing because of this swedge, the way how it goes down like that. I mean, I could just go right around boxes and over things. Access to the liner, it does give you a little bit of cutout here, so it's not the most access, but it's also not bad, so it's acceptable. The snap to it is great, man. The detent is loud. I got a nice pop to it. Drop shutty. It's good. I mean, it's got a nice heavy blade. It's only going to get better and better, especially as the detent ball breaks in. But it's not false shutty. It's shake shutty. But with a little tiny bit of effort, it basically drops. You can slow roll it very easily too because of the coating, like very easily. These pinch grips, man, are really, really good. Reversible deep carry clip the clip is inset on both sides with flat screws which is awesome. I love to see that. Those are little details that, you know, you're happy to see. And like I said, Bestech is the OEM here. Decent sized stop pin. Lockup is solid. I can feel the lock engage, and I really like that. Even when it's slow rolled open, man, it just pulls it in. That's really encouraging to know that your knife is locked up. When you flip it, slow roll it, or anything like that, the lock bar is not hesitating to get underneath the blade. It's pulling itself underneath the blade. A little bit of milling on the inside. They do have some weight relieving. T8 hardware all the way around except for the clip. That's awesome. Very cool. Now, some little tiny complaints. One, you guys already know this, but, well, if you watch my channel, the plunge grind, I wish the plunge grind, they gave you more to sharpen off. Yes, you're going to get a couple sharpenings on it if you keep the same angle, but if I take my edge and I lower the angle, which will make the edge bevel bigger, it will go back and I will sharpen into this plunge grind. So I'd rather a better choil, so a farther plunge grind away from the edge. That's one thing. The geometry's good though. Nice and slicey, nice and thin behind the edge. You know what? Let me measure the thickness behind the edge. Okay, so the thinnest portion was about 18 thousandths, but you know, it's right around 20 thousandths right here, between 18 and 20 thousandths. Right here was 25 thousandths, so a little bit thicker right here, but this is still nice and thin, especially with the geometry. So even if you were going to take this section and use it for cutting, which I would tend to leave it a little sharper for opening things up, because this is like a claw, or if you were going to use it for a self-defense situation or something. But you can use this secondary tip as well to open things up. You know, you just want to avoid this tip right here. Anyways, but the geometry of going from the thickest, because you see how it tapers, like this is the thickest point, but then it tapers right here and you have a beautiful swedge on top. So the taper from here to here is nice and slow. Seems like it'll cut really good. But a couple other negatives really quick. Yes, it's a 3-finger knife. I would prefer a 4-finger knife, but this is acceptable because you have so much leverage in your hand. It still feels, because of the way how it rounds out right there, it goes right in your palm, nice and comfortably. Feels like you're not going to have any issues, like no movement at all. No play any directions. Next thing, I wish the access to the lock bar was a tiny bit bigger. That's not a big deal. I'm not that worried about it. So, but I think it's just this side right here. I wish this side was knocked down a little bit. Sometimes when you just expose the liner a little bit higher than the lock bar side, or yeah, than the lock side or the clip side, it makes it a little easier to disengage, but it's not a big deal. The flipper tab works great. I'm trying to think if it's uncomfortable. It kind of upsweeps a little bit. I thought it was going to be uncomfortable, but it actually works great, so no complaints about it. Even when I use the tip of it right here, it's not that sharp. Like, it's not like a hinder or clip whatsoever, but it looks like it would be, but it's just not. Next thing, I wish the steel was not D2. I wish it was a little bit better steel. 154 CM, 14C28N, Nitro V, something like that. But it's all right. D2's fine, especially as long as it's heat treated right. If it's heat treated right, I really like D2. Full backspacer. I didn't even notice that. Full backspacer, so you're not going to have to worry about coins getting in there and chipping your edge if it's in your pocket. I personally don't carry anything else in my pocket, but some people do. So really, there's not too much to complain about. The choil, maybe this part of the lock bar cut out a little bit better. You know, the ergos are just fine. But if, you know, I had a little tiny bit more length, I'd be able to get a 4-finger grip. I technically can if I smash it up into this spot right there. But I think it's cool. I do like it so far, so very, very cool. Let me know what you guys think. Now, off-grid knives, I think they are great examples of EDC / partially tactical knives. Now, I know. Fixed blades are actual tactical knives, but there is such thing as tactical folding knives. So, if, you were going to look into a folding, somewhat tactical-ish knife, and I don't mean like mall ninja tactical, I mean like something that you're actually being serious about, that you want to be, tough and a good usable knife for many different applications, I think OFFGRID does a really good job. So there you guys go. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget, I'll link everything down in the description. Peace.